Before I start, just to note, I'm still recording videos ahead at the moment. It's currently Monday where I am. When you are, I think it'll be Thursday, so this match was a while ago. So cast your mind back to Leeds United versus Coventry City, a disappointing 1-1 draw. A very disappointing performance, and I decided to ask what you rated every single one of the players, plus the referee. So, starting on the positives, because I like to be a nice optimist here, the referee. No, I'm kidding. I'm saving that one for later. The referee had a shocking performance, and you guys agreed. However, the man of the match was you guys for subscribing. Also not true. Sorry about that, but please do. That'd be much appreciated. It really helps the channel to grow. In reality, it was Crescencio Somerville with a 7.33 out of 10. I think this is a very fair rating. Somerville was nice and creative, made some interesting moves, scored the goal, and basically did what he does all the time. He'll get a few chances a match and he will always slot one away, and it just works for him at the moment. And the fact he's able to do it consistently, even when the team around him is struggling, pretty good. The other creative players did okay as well. Dan James got himself a 6.35 out of 10 because he was also very creative. He pushed in behind their lines quite often. His sprinting was much appreciated, and you could tell he left it all on the pitch. And Jorginho Ruter, who got the assist, got a 5.96 out of 10. Also, not too bad. Ruter played really well, in my opinion, and I think he was unlucky to not score a few goals. He had plenty of shots, a good few of them on target, and the keeper just performed really well against him. On any other day, he gets more goals there and we win the match. However, the worst player for Leeds United in this match was Joel Piroe. Joel Piroe got a 3.82, and I think that's because when we play against low blocks, he doesn't seem to have that much value for us. It's quite odd, because he's someone that sort of thrives when he's given a little bit of space to kick the ball into. He's not the best of dribblers, he's not the most creative of passers. His finishing is fantastic, but he needs a little bit of a moment to get that shot away. Against a low block like Coventry were playing with, Piroe sort of disappears, and you're left relying too much on Ruter, on Somerville, on James. And I feel like the next time we play against a team that's likely to sit in against us, which won't be Ipswich, because I think Ipswich will try and play a very creative form of football against us. But I think against the next low block, which could be Preston, it would be probably a good idea to maybe play Nonto instead. Nonto on the left, Somerville on the inside. Who knows? But someone a little bit more creative that can break down a defence rather than just putting the chances away. Sorry, bit of a hiccup. The central attacking subs also struggled a little bit. Patrick Bamford came out of the match with a 4.2 and Joe Gelhardt with a 4.8. Both of them didn't have that much time to shine. Farke again went for his really late substitutions, and I think that kind of told in his personal rating, but Bamford and Nonto didn't really have time to do anything. Not Nonto, Gelhardt didn't have time to do anything. Gelhardt dropped in a fair bit. He liked to sort of make some interesting passages of play. He lost the ball a few times, but he was always chasing back. Gelhardt was very visibly trying to make an impact, in the same way that I think Nonto was as well. When he came on, Nonto and Somerville working in a nice little partnership between the centre of midfield and the left wing was brilliant. And that's sort of why I want to see Nonto start over Piroe, because those little bits of interplay between those two, they clearly know how to play with each other. And the fact that we can just do that partway through a championship match feels like cheating, and we need to make advantage of it as much as we can. Outside of attack, we move into central midfield, and there were reasonable levels of control, but both of them were a little bit loose in possession. Start of the season, Ethan Ampadu could do nothing wrong. Glenn Kamara wasn't quite playing yet, but at his best, he can do nothing wrong. However, being a little bit loose and giving the ball away meant Ethan Ampadu got a 6.02 and Glenn Kamara got a 5.65. Kamara also struggled on the playmaking front in this match, and I can understand why he was one of the players that was taken off. He wasn't forging the opportunities in the same way that maybe Gray in midfield would, because the playmaking slightly different ways. If Kamara's not quite on it, then the midfield, I think, is generally going to struggle a little bit. Ampadu, he's there to break up play. There was nothing he could do for their goal, and I feel like he's been done a little bit dirty with the 6.02, purely because he did everything that was asked of him. We just made some mistakes that made the entire team look a little bit worse. The back line was still, however, reasonably well rated, in spite of the fact that we didn't win the match. Archie Gray came to a 5.71, with Pascal Struijk at a 5.84. These are both sort of okay scores. 1 second, I need to very quickly make sure I've got the right spreadsheet up. These are sort of okay scores, but I feel like we could have been significantly better in these positions. It's dropped because these are the two players that their player like lost and won a header between for their goal. If we were able to keep track of him, that'd be a 1-0 routine win, and we didn't. And Gray and Stroke struggled as a result. Joe Rodon, however, was really strong at the other side of defence. He was happy to carry the ball, rush out of the back line, and sort of forge opportunities on his own. He noticed that a lot of the time we'd sit in somewhat or not actively bring the fight to the other team. We would sort of do horseshoe of doom passing around the edge of their 18-yard box. Joe Rodon sprinting at them with the ball was sort of something nice and interesting that would break it up. Spence struggled a bit, getting himself a 5.33, and Ilan Melier is understandably rated a little bit low in this one. I feel like people are excessively harsh to him. It was a goal that it would be very tricky for him to stop. If he comes out and he doesn't claim the cross properly, then he's accused of being in no man's land. If he stays where he is, as he did, people are going to accuse him for not coming out for the cross. He couldn't win everyone over either way. 4.92 feels a little bit harsh, but fair enough. The worst of all, however, was the referee, who got himself a 1.51 out of 10. That was an absolutely shocking score. And yeah, it's completely understandable as well, because he was very inconsistent with the bookings that he did give. He refused to give bookings early on. He booked their keeper for time wasting after 80 minutes when he was doing it since 40. It was a little bit of a joke, in my opinion. And there was a lot more managing the game that should have happened. Like, the scuffle that happened after the match doesn't happen if the referee has any control. Aside from that, I don't want to talk about the referee too much. The final rating that we have is Daniel Farke's management. That got a 4.33 out of 10, and I understand why that was fairly low. Farke struggled, because his biggest issue at the moment is making those rotational intelligent subs that keep us sort of fit and firing. Making changes before the 70th minute seems to be something he's allergic to, and that could be a little bit of a problem going deeper into a championship season. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Comment down below what you would rate the players, and give the video a like. I will see you later.